But can I mention one other thing that's really important?
Sure.
So when Go came out, and I was talking about the bad experience I had walking around, right?
I know where you're going with this.
Not long thereafter, the sort of writing was on the wall for the Go record. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't a priority. Just what it was. And we went from that kind of the beautiful heights of everything you want to kind of a different experience with Go, which I maintain was actually a great experience for me and has served me well, right? You can't always be victorious, and you gotta keep on trudging, you know?
Yep.
And but I was hurt, and I'll never forget, I got an email from you saying, hey,
this is before we were friends, right?
This is before we were friends. And that's actually an important point too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like you were reaching out to a friend.
Right.
You knew what was happening.
I was reaching out to a fellow artist.
And you wanted to give me a virtual hug and a little pat on the back. And you said in this email, hey man, I know what's happening right now. And I know kind of how you're probably feeling. But as you're sort of navigating this time, which is challenging, I need you to know that every morning here in Chicago, when it's time for me to drive my kids to school, and I ask them what record they want to I'm going to choke up, dude. I ask them what record they want to listen to. They say, we want to listen to Vertical Horizons Go.
True.
And so just know that as you're dealing with all this other stuff, you've also got that coming your way.
Number one in our house.
And what a deeply impactful and beautiful and supportive thing to have done to a fellow songwriter, a younger friend, or someone that you knew what the path was. You knew the pitfalls of the path. You knew sort of like the high moments and maybe also some of the tougher times.
Sure.
And it was just one of the most beautiful things that anyone has ever done to me in my life. And it was one of the things that helped me sort of crest that wave or whatever, switch from thinking of that whole experience as being a negative thing to being one with some real valuable life lessons.
Well, first of all, I really love that album too. I adore it.
Thank you.
I don't know that I prefer it less than Everything You Want.
Right.
Between those two albums, they're both equally amazing to me.
Thank you.
And so much of your other work as well. But I do remember wanting to put that out there to you without really knowing you at that point too well. But I also remember that you could have easily been like, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Right. We've both been in that situation where we tried to do something nice for somebody and they go, hey, thanks.
Do that. I don't do nice
things. I forgot. I do that. You are against it.
No.
But easily you could have been like, hey man, that's really nice of you. I appreciate it.
Right.
And then that was it.
Right.
And I wouldn't have been I wouldn't have expected anything else. But I remember that your reaction to it, not in your reaction in what you wrote, but that's when all of a sudden you were like reaching out to me a little bit.
Right.
Like it shifted.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like you were like, oh, no. This guy did this.
This is a good human being.
He's a good human being. I want to know him more. And then that's how it developed.
Yeah.
It's great. I love that. I mean, I hate that record suffered the bullshit that it did because it had nothing to do with the work.
You and I have talked a lot about gratitude and trying to live in a state of gratitude more often than not. And it's a real challenge for me. It really, really is. But, when I think back on that record, I cannot help but have to think about Everything You Want. And Everything You Want did so well. And so Go not doing well in isolation doesn't really mean anything. Go not doing well in comparison to Everything You Want, the sort of vast discrepancy in terms of how those two records performed, well, that stings a little bit more, but only when you realize that because Everything You Want reached such beautiful
massive.
heights.
Yeah.
And I have to focus on that beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because without that beautiful thing, the challenge or
you have no perspective.
Exactly. The failure of the next thing means nothing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So like, good for you. A failure stung you. That means probably you had some success. Good for you.
Yeah.
Bud.
Yeah. That's really well put.
Thank you.
That's valuable. I never really thought about it that way.
I don't know that I did either.
Well, but it's good.
Yeah.
Because any of us who've been lucky enough to have had successful ventures.
Right.
When we've had unsuccessful ventures, it stings because we've had the euphoria or the experience of winning. And,
Right.
And like having something be so accepted
Right.
by the masses. And it feels really good.
Yes.
It feels really good, and it can be addictive.
I mean, I haven't had enough, I don't think, of those experiences to have experienced the sort of addictive qualities of it. I mean, you came out of the gate and boom, 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 boom. I mean, all those records, like first 4, I don't even know. But I do know that, man, I am so fortunate to have tried this crazy, impossible thing, back to my childhood and my New England family, and like, you're gonna go try to be a songwriter, little kid. All right, sure, give it a shot. I mean, the fact that I'm here with you now in 2025, you're one of my absolute best friends on the planet, and one of the people I think is the absolute best at the craft that I love more than anything. Like, yeah, it's worked out pretty well.
Well, not to mention, I'll add this. How about from wondering, can a kid from Worcester be in the music business, to 6 months ago, I'm on the set of The Voice in Australia.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember exactly how it came up. Or I think I just mentioned, I was in a production meeting and with the crew of The Voice, lovely people in Australia. And I think I mentioned my best friend Matt, or my buddy Matt, or whatever. And I said, he's in a band called Vertical Horizon. And I wasn't sure if you guys had, I don't think you ever toured in Australia.
No, we never did.
But I wasn't sure if they, and immediately they were like, he's everything you want. And they start singing. And so I sent you a video of it.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so proud and so great. But think about that. Think about the fact that you had those, I think I want to do this, to the point where even if it's just one, which it's more than one, but even if it were just one song that overwhelmingly the world knows and loves, that's
the best.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's also not why we do it.
No.
It's not what you're really ultimately going for necessarily.
We can't fabricate that. We can't.
Right.
If we could, we would do it every time.
Absolutely. Although I do think you could sell this beverage and become a spillionaire.
A spillionaire.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that
I'm drunk.
in a while.
I tried to say billionaire.